Welcome to episode 48. So 48 is all about finishing the steering column, the complex steering column between the electric leaf box and the rack and pinion, going around the compressor. So it's kind of a short one. It's actually, but that's what 48 is all about. And the next video will be doing the condenser. That was a lot of work to get air conditioning condenser in there behind the radiator. So enjoy 48, like, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see more of these. But this is all about finishing the rack and pinion and the rack and pinion steering column around air conditioning. I should probably make a separate video on how to do rack and pinion without air conditioning, because it's a lot easier, and without electric steering. So let me know if you want to do that. I've got some good ideas, and just using like an R50 steering column and a rack, and it'd be pretty easy. No minor modification to the oil pan looks like. You could actually do it without any modification to the motor mount or the oil pan. I've already modified mine because I have the Miata rack, but whatever. Anyways, enjoy 48. Thanks. Alright, so I finally figured out how to get apart the Z01 leaf shaft. This little collar on the end, well, it's not really a collar, there's little dents in the bottom, if you can see them right there. So this spline shaft will not slide out. Why do you want to pull that out, you ask? Even though it's like dipped in milk or something, chocolate, like plastic coated. Well, I wanted to get that out so that I could slide something else in there. Now an R50 fits in there really nicely. So I can now weld it on there. This is more like factory. Goes to the firewall right here to this 370Z coupling. Then it's going to go into an R50 coupling, just like stock. R50 spline, the small spline. Regular R50 shaft, R50 change, R50, which is not one of those, and another one of those. So I need 3 of these things to make this work. Cut this one down the length, and the S30 rack down here. So this spline, this one, this one, this one, this one, they're all the same. The leaf, big old monster, electric. So we're going to simplify. Everything's pretty much going to be R50 in the middle with a leaf on one end. Now, of course, on the other end of the leaf box is 521, right? Steering wheel. That's a different spline than the leaf steering wheel. So, got a few parts left over. I've been trying a lot of different combinations. I think this is going to work the best, easiest to service, and the strongest. No more of these aftermarket DOMs welding stuff together. Let's put it together. Let's weld. Okay, I don't know what the last video was, but I've got the rack installed. I've got the short shaft going to the reduction box, or whatever it is, redirection box. I got that cut to length, mocked up, tacked together. Got the AC compressor on. I had the radiator in and out. There's where it goes to right here. And the condenser is going to be behind that. So trying to find a good place for this box. I got it clamped in place. I've actually got a box of steel welded to the bracket. I got a piece of steel bolted to the frame, and I got them 2 clamped together. I'm just trying to get this angle nice and level now. And so I'm going to have to shorten this shaft, unfortunately. It's just way too long with this setup. The only way to keep it the original length is to move this box back. But then I need room here for all the connectors on the hoses for the condenser, so can't go there. So I need to shorten this one next. So right now I'm working on the shaft that comes out of the leaf, the Z01 EPS. This is the factory leaf, what do you call it, shaft. I think I've shown this before, but here's what's inside. It's all splined. I had to cut that to get that out. I just took off another 1/2 inch here. So this is how long I want the shaft to be. I want this coupler, just like in an R50, to be right on the outside of the firewall. So I could slide this out and pull the shaft out from the front. And right here is going to be a rubber seal on the inside of the vehicle. So that's my plan. So now I just plug weld this, and then this shaft should be done. Bolt this onto here. And then the next step will be shorten that shaft, get that on, and then I can get the final position on here. I'm going to bend this tab a little bit more that way. I'll take it all apart and bend it a little bit. And but right now, technically, I could turn it It is rubbing a little bit down on the frame, but it's because my cross member is rubbing. The cross member needs to be trimmed. It's a little messy. It's a little too tall. It's taller than the frame, so that's just user error. Easy to fix that. Yeah, and then my goal is to get this thing mounted ASAP. But I got to get all these shafts just right. So let's go ahead and weld this up now. I think this one should be final. Now that I got the steering wheel in a good position, I think this is where it's going to be. Okay, I just installed that tie rod and screwed it all the way in. I got the rack centered. You can see I got a little toe out. So that's what I thought. I need to screw in just a little bit. I just measured. These outer tie rods have exactly 2 inches of thread inside. Thank you very much, tape measure. Basically, yeah, exactly 2 inches. So, and on the inner joint, how much thread do we have? Hard to see, but looks like it goes to about right past the nut. Oh, just a hair over 2 inches. So, with the lock nut, for that to go all the way in, I'd either have to, I'd have to cut the tie rod, right? Because the inner, this is less than the inside. Yeah, I'd have to cut this tie rod, and if I cut this tie rod, I'm gonna lose this fancy nut shape. Obviously, I could recreate the nut shape on the outside. But yeah, let's see if I can adjust it all the way in and see if I can get into alignment specs before I cut these things. And I noticed, I think I already ripped this brand new boot, bottomed out, full compression, or sometime during mock-up. It cost me $1 this thing. So I went to the junkyard again today, get another one of these couplers. This one's a little bent, as you can see, but all I need is this piece. And luckily, somebody had already cut the column shaft, so it was just laying there in the truck. So all I need is this piece. About the whole thing. I'll have another U-joint spare. But yeah, that was already easy to take out because it's not easy. And also picked up another carburetor flange. This one's from a VG33, a D22, and I got some Armada bum stops. Look what I got! Another H190. From a 97 2.0 drive, manual transmission, 4-cylinder, D21. Never even seen one of these before. This is the new modern stuff. It's actually got ABS in the pinion like my R50, my 96 did. Instead of having it on the individual wheels, it has it on the pinion. And I know that made a difference between long and short. There was 2 different lengths of these on the H233s. I don't know if the same problem happens with the H190. I guess I can measure. I just measured from here to here. There was like an inch difference. That's why there was 2 different one-piece shafts on the D22s. Let me measure that real quick and see if it'll bolt in my truck. Alright, so I just got the final shaft tacked back together. Got the coupling on down there. It's a lot of drama. Had to grind this down. So I just had it all mocked up, and I tacked up this bracket, and I actually turned the wheels left and right. It's looking pretty good. The toe out is still off, so but at least it works. So now I went ahead and tacked this thing while I had it clamped, so I can technically get rid of the clamp now. And we're officially got 1 bolt holding in this doohickey. I just went ahead and welded another bolt, so now it's just nuts to put it on. So you can see this craziness. I got a piece of bent steel that bolts down to the original steering box mount, and this bolts to the redirection box. I got a piece in the middle. So now I gotta try to make this look strong and pretty. So obviously I gotta add more gussets and whatnot. I need to add more tabs because right now it's just 1 bolt. That's not enough. There's 3 holes for the factory steering box, I think. Actually, I don't know. There's 2 holes here and 1 here. Actually, it went down to those as well. So maybe I could have a bracket go down to that bolt as well. I think those 3 would be enough. Maybe the body, I don't know. Let's see, as soon as this thing cools down, we'll put it back in and add some more steel, I guess around here. Alright, so here's my steer reduction box, whatever you call it, bracket so far. It's a piece of L bracket, piece of square tubing. It's pretty ugly so far. I'm going to use all 3 holes of the steering box mount. That goes in here. Now just chopped up some more steel. I kind of lay that on there. I'm going to weld this all together. I'll have 3 bolts instead of 1. There's a lot of angles going on here. The steering box is leaning over and back. 2 different planes. But it's actually looking pretty good when you look at it like that. So now I got to figure out how to weld this together. Tack it together, I mean. And then I have to put the box back in, the steering column, put the rack back in here. Recycle the steering, make sure everything still fits, doesn't hit. So let's tack this. I'm gonna put you back where I was. Okay, so now I've got 2 tacks down there, 1 tack here, a little blob of weld on the back. That thing doesn't even move now. And it's not even bolted in. I've only got one bolt welded down here. It's like a pin. Get that line across the screen. And these 2 pins, no nuts. And it won't come out. Even with all the nuts falling off, it doesn't really move. So that's pretty good, and it's pretty hot. So I think I'll put some nuts on there, put the steering box back in, or whatever you call it, put the shafts back on, cycle it left, cycle it right. I need to adjust the toe. I may have to shorten the outer tie rods because they're a little too long. So that'll be a great test. And then I gotta do alignment again. I want to drop this thing down today. Alright, bad news. I just put it all together, did a test, and this shaft wouldn't go on. So this bracket needed to go down 1/2 inch. So I had to take it apart, cut the welds. So I took the time to clean up this bracket a little bit. And put it back together again. I had to cut a notch out of there. So hopefully it's back together now. But I did cycle the wheels left and right. And it looks really good. But yeah, let me just put this all back together again. And I'll take it apart again and weld it up. But yeah, it's looking really good. I completed a full lefty-righty turn. This thing flops around a little bit, but I'm going to address that. But yeah, I had to get that shaft on, so I had to cut the welds and start over. There's a little sneak peek of the alternator, what it's going to look like when it's installed. I don't have the belt on yet, but it fits it there really nicely. Okay, so I think I'm going to change something up. Since I moved the steering column over 1 inch, this needs to move, which is going to be a lot of work. This luckily was only like 12 bucks on eBay. Shipped this 370Z boot that I modified, but I think I'm going to simplify this. I think I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this, and there's another piece in here. It's like a 3-piece design. I think I'm just going to use a piece of aluminum. I think that's the right size hole. And then I'm just going to put a sheet of sound deadening on here, and then I'm just going to put like a CV axle boot that's removable. Even though I just did make a new shaft that is now male, female, it's not too female, which solved my issue, but too late. So now I've drilled the hole, now I'm going to cut this in half, and this is 4 bolts, so I may have to add some more bolts. I don't care. I want to simplify it, save a lot of space. This thing is very bulky, even though it's all Nissan, and it's cool. The little rubber booty thing was like paper thin rubber. I actually cut it to get it back over one of the female U-joints. So I think I can make a thicker rubber seal out of aluminum and rubber and sound deadening and a little $20 CV boot. So that's what I'm going to try. Otherwise, it's a lot of work to move that hole over 1 inch. So, like I said, I just drilled the 4 holes that match these 4 holes that are in my firewall. Now I gotta cut this in. Okay, so I've got the alternator all wired up. I removed the fender mounted regulator. And there's one wire, white blue, that supposedly doesn't get connected to anything. And so, it actually runs, but check this out, I got some problems. I got no ignition light. I noticed this ignition light came on before when I took the belt off. So that ignition light is also a charge light somehow. You can see 12 volts, 14 volts. So the alternator is obviously working. So the side effect is I got no idiot light now. And I'm an idiot. I need to know when it's not charging. And I don't have that crazy noise yet. But then again, I got no coolant. I had trouble getting it started, so I thought I had no spark. I definitely got spark. I don't know if you can see it or not. So that's the VQ40DE 130 amp alternator with a 7365 belt. The stock belt is a 7360. So I got that on there originally, but it was easier to get that belt on, so I got a little bit bigger one. So now I got to figure out why the idiot light doesn't work. So let's take it apart. Something. Sounds pretty good though. I haven't started in about a week. So yeah, it sounds really good. No crazy noise yet. So that's the third alternator I've tried. You see this thing has 6 wires, and I've only found things on how to rewire 4 of them. 2 of them they don't show what they connect to. So this was replaced in 1984.